Hey Gemini, welcome to my channel. My name is Katie. Today I'm doing your monthly reading for the month of July, which you probably know by now is quite an interesting astrological month. There's a lot going on. It's a powerful time of expansion and growth and transformation for all of us. We have a lot of different alignments and things that are going to be talked to here in this reading. But before we go deep into the astrological alignments and the card reading, I would love for you to check if you are already subscribed to my channel. And if you're not, I would really enjoy if you did subscribe. I am enjoying the connection that I have to all of you guys, Geminis and other signs. This channel has been such a beautiful opportunity to connect to others. So if you feel like you resonate with my energy, if you feel like you resonate with these readings, I invite you to subscribe. So let's see. Well, first and foremost, let's talk about the first week of the month. We are from the 1st of July entering Mercury retrograde shadow period. So we are going to be under the effects of the Mercury retrograde energy for a little bit, even before it actually starts. Mercury goes retrograde on the 7th or 8th of the month. And as you know, that entails a lot of different things. Some people love Mercury retrograde as a way to go within, evaluate your sense of self, your introspection, your projects, go through details and make sure that everything is working fine in the things that are already existing in your life. Other people are not that big of a fan of Mercury retrograde because it does tend to create confusion, mental fog, mistakes as far as planning, organization, traveling, and things like that. Also technology and communication. So, I think it's an opportunity for us to go deep within, but I won't lie to you, it is annoying if my phone stopped working or something like that. We can expect all sorts of things. So the best way to prepare for that is to back up your computer, to make sure that everything is double checked. If you're traveling, make sure that you're going to the right airport, to the right city, to the right airline, because believe it or not, you could actually get confused because it's way easier to get confused in things related to communication and to traveling. Besides that, we have an eclipse on the 2nd of the month, which is going to be very strong in the sign of Cancer. So this is going to be a transformational period that is going to extend for, its effect is going to be kind of like extended over the next 6 months. Then we have another eclipse. One is solar, one is lunar by mid-month. I think it's on the 17th. And that is also going to be quite important. We have 2 new moons this month, which is always a sign of a definite new chapter opening up for us, for all of us. So yeah, it's exciting. It's also going to be probably a little bit turbulent. So let's see what the energies are telling you, Gemini. What are the energies advising you? How are you best guided to handle this month? I'm going to be pulling our usual 8 cards, in this case from the Mystic Monday Tarot. Then I'm going to be pulling from the Menti Oracle a weekly breakdown. So I will pull a card for week 1, week 2, week 3 of the month so we can have an idea. And then a guided intuitive oracle message from Elena Brower's Art of Attention yoga deck, which is really nice. And before we start, I also want to let you know that I'm opening a lot of different channels because I have a lot of different passions and I would like to transition into YouTube full-time. And one of those channels is an English channel for yoga, because I'm a yoga teacher and I would love to share yoga classes with you and meditations and a lot of free awesome stuff. So if you like yoga and you would like to be a part of that channel, I'm gonna link the channel below. And it hasn't even started yet, but if you would like to be a part of it and see how it grows, you are more than invited. Okay, Gemini, let's do this. Let's do this, Geminis. This deck is so cool. It really catches my attention. Like visually, it's nice. And it has this, I don't know if you see it, like a little glimmer, like a turquoise purple kind of glimmer. This is a longer reading, by the way, you guys, so I'm going to be taking my time. I like to enjoy my time with the Gemini collective. My boyfriend is a Gemini. And I love Geminis. At the bottom of the deck, we have the King of Swords, a very Gemini card, I have to say. Okay, let's see. First card that we have here is the Six of Cups. I am not surprised at all, Gemini. The retrogrades, which I failed to mention, not only Mercury is going to be retrograde this month, Neptune is retrograde this month, Saturn is retrograde this month, Jupiter is retrograde this month. I heard an astrologer say that the only planets that are going to be going direct are Mars and Venus. And this actually makes tons of sense because during the retrogrades, things from the past come back. So I feel like you guys might run into an ex or start communicating with an ex or someone who you used to like a while back. You might be kind of like drawn into reliving situations from the past with soulmates, with love, with relationships, but also like patterns from the past that now you're capable to see under a different light and hopefully break. In Mercury retrograde, it's known that the bunch of exes are going to appear, and that doesn't necessarily mean at all that you need to revisit that. If you really feel like there wasn't closure or there wasn't, you know, the appropriate handling of how a relationship ended, you could use this time to set that record straight. You could use this time to kind of like revisit that in order to make it better, but don't fall for the retrograde illusion that it is a wonderful idea to start something new under this period, especially if it's someone from the past. Don't fall for it. It happens every time Mercury is retrograde, and with other retrogrades, it gets triggered as well. So you definitely may be having some nostalgia for the past, some loving energies from people who, honestly, if you're not together with them right now, it's because it didn't work out. And if it didn't work out, it probably won't work out again, if that makes sense. I mean, it's not the case for everybody. Take it if it resonates. Obviously, this is a general reading. Every case is different. I'm not going to tell you what to do with your life. But usually, the clients and the patients that I see that fall for this, oh my god, my ex is looking for me again, and it's Mercury retrograde or Venus retrograde, and I'm gonna go all the way for it. And then when Mercury goes direct, it usually involves some kind of disappointment. So I wouldn't want you to go through that because of not having the proper information. So this is the information. You can take it or you can leave it. Next card that we have for Geminis is the World. Many of you guys are actually going to be experiencing this, so you can close the chapters, so you can receive closure, so you can put behind you that chapter of your life and open a clean new slate, a new stage in your life, a new period. So you can take advantage of this, and you can actually make it very beneficial as a way for this month of July to be a before and after point in your life. So it's like, okay, before July, this is what I was dealing with, and this is all the baggage I had, and this is everything that was there. But after July, I choose to have a clean slate. I choose to have a different dynamic in my relationships, something better. I choose to have a different dynamic at work, something better. I choose a different dynamic with my health, something better. You know, like you can choose to have that clean slate in which you are no longer limited by the patterns of the past, okay? But for you to identify what patterns are holding you back, the most likely thing that will happen is that in July, those energies are going to appear in the shape and form of different situations that will present themselves, so you can say, oh shit, like, I've done that before, you know, like, I've actually made that mistake before, or I have, you know, fallen for this pattern before, I'm not going to do it again. you know? So a lot of those things could come up in the month of July for you guys and for everybody, honestly. Ooh, you have the beautiful Queen of Cups here. This month you could be feeling very emotional, intuitive, psychic. And some of you guys could be dealing with a water sign, a Cancer, a Pisces, or a Scorpio, or all of the above. It's funny because my boyfriend is a Gemini, I mentioned that earlier, and I am Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. So here I am in the reading. It's always funny to see it that way. But yeah, some of you guys could be dealing with water signs, people who are very creative, very intuitive, very emotional. And this cup here, I do feel like it's representing an offer of love of some sort. So there might be a lot of beautiful connection with water signs this month for all of you. And this could be relationships of romantic character, but also like family relationships or friendships in which you feel very connected intuitively, spiritually, emotionally to others, which is very nice. So far you've got amazing cards, Gemini. Let's see what is popping up here. Oh, I kind of ruined the card a little bit. Then we have the Fool, which is also a lovely energy to have, and it goes hand in hand with the World here is what I'm perceiving. The Fool is this energy of new beginnings that are so exciting and so inspiring that you don't care about anything. It's like you're not even assessing the risk. You're not even considering how it could fail because you're so possessed by the excitement. And that's what the illustration is telling us here. She's so excited following the sun that she's about to fall off a cliff and she hasn't even noticed. So that is why the card is called the Fool. Because it does speak about this level of excitement that is such that it overshadows any kind of worry. But at the same time, it advises us to go into these periods of excitement with our heart, yes, but we should take our brain with us, you know what I mean? So this could be a month in which you feel incredibly in love with maybe projects that you're doing or people in your life or possibilities, and you feel so excited that you're ready to take a leap of faith. That's okay, that's awesome. However, make sure that you are not taking the leap of faith influenced by the energies that are happening this month, and make sure that it is sustainable or that it is thought out. An example that I see here is, for example, is that maybe a person from your past, a water sign, appears again and you're like, oh my god, I'm so in love, and you go all the way into that. And then, you know, you might realize that after all the planets come direct, you might see like maybe that wasn't, you know, well thought out. Like maybe I could have thought about that before doing it. Okay, we have the Six of Pentacles, we have the Emperor, Seven of Wands, and the Hermit. Okay. Okay, something that is catching my attention here for you, Gemini, is that some of you guys could be, yes, some of you guys could be having some kind of tension with an authority figure that could be sharing their resources with you, paying for your things. This could be a father figure. This could be some kind of authority in your life. Could be an Aries for some of you, not for all of you. It is important with this person that you stand your ground, that you defend your point of view, and that you speak your truth in a way that is responsible, in a way that is honest, respectful. I feel like some of you guys will demand maybe a promotion or a raise to a boss. Or not demand, but like propose or something like that. Maybe some of you guys are negotiating something and you are not supposed to kind of like release your desires. you're supposed to actually get what you want. So it might be a little bit uncomfortable, but you do need to stand up for yourself, Gemini, this month, in order for that money to, in some cases it's money, in some other cases it's other things, but for that to come into your reality, because you do deserve it. And even if you have to fight a little bit for it, that's okay. Stand your ground and fight for what you're worth. Don't take less than what you feel you're worth. Don't settle for things that don't make you feel comfortable. Although, here's the thing. Mercury being retrograde, being the planet of communication, is not really favoring important conversations. If you could push that important conversation to the end of the month, maybe to the beginning of August, that would really help you. Because what happens in Mercury retrograde is that you say one thing and then the other person hears another thing. Completely different to what you were actually trying to get across. So it might not be the best time to have delicate conversations or negotiations. But if it's completely unavoidable, just try your best to be as clear and respectful and clear and clear and clear, and repeat it as many times as you need to repeat it until you make sure that the message came across to the other person the way you intended it. Because I swear that happens. It's like you say one thing and the person hears another. So, okay. The Hermit here. This month of July, you may be feeling very creative. But I feel like you guys are looking for a sacred space within yourselves this month to process that creativity and to allow it to be born within you. So it's interesting. I feel like you guys are... What I see here is... Look at this girl. Like, what I see here is that she is naked, which means that she's vulnerable and being completely unapologetically herself, right? And I see an empty room with a mirror. That looks like a mirror to me. And what I'm getting is that you are the owner of this space. She's the owner of this space. And she is now connecting within her heart, being very authentic, being very vulnerable in order to see what is it that she wants to fill this room with. What passions is she ready to put in her life? What dreams, what priorities, what responsibilities. I feel like you guys are kind of like with the world here as well, kind of like cutting the timeline right now and creating like a new birth for you guys. It's what I said earlier, like from July, before July, life was like this. And then after July, I decide to make life something completely awesome and better than before. Obviously different, but I do feel like it's going to be better. I do feel like it's going to be more aligned with you and it's going to feel better for you. Okay guys, so this is the reading. I'm going to be now flipping all the cards and pulling the weekly breakdown for you guys. I love to do this like longer readings because I can take my time. I feel like the other ones, sometimes I do them a little bit rushed because it's like, oh, I have to do 12 readings today. That's insane. So I like when I actually break it down this way because I can take my time. They may take longer to come out, but that's alright. Okay, let's see. I am going to be using the Amenti Oracle, which was a gift from you guys, so thank you so much. I'm loving this deck. Universe, what is the ideal message that Gemini needs for the first week of July? What is the ideal message for our beautiful Geminis first week of July? No? Okay. Yes? Yes. I give offerings that are genuine. This is a heart chakra activation card. And as you see, she is kind of like being elevated towards source, towards the light, through her heart center. So I think that this message is inviting you guys, you Geminis, to have a very ritualistic first week of the month. Honestly, like what I'm getting here is with the offerings and the sense of the heart chakra, is that this could be a wonderful time for you to offer your worries to the universe in exchange for peace. Close chapters with certainty and ease, opening space for the new. And many of you guys could actually benefit from ritual. Like I'm seeing you guys doing things that are symbolic. So for example, like what if you are trying to leave a relationship from the past behind? You can do something with maybe a piece of paper, write a letter to that person and maybe burn it so you can like release that chapter, or things like that. You know what I mean? Things that are symbolic that can really help you and help your subconscious realize that there was an action taken and there was a caught, like a transition made, you know? So whatever works for you guys, whatever works for you. Second week of July for Geminis. I relate in peace. So you may be feeling a little bit more guided to connect to others. On the second week of the month, you may be feeling more social. I feel like for the first week of the month, you may be feeling a little bit more private and more like internal process. But then for the second week, I do feel like you're going to be relating more with people of all belief systems, all lifestyles, different people. And you're going to find it very beautiful to see how everybody has a different thing going on, how their perspective on life could be completely different. And it is not only an ideal week to be very tolerant, of course, of others' beliefs, but also to admire those and honor them, even if they don't resonate with you. Just kind of like appreciate the variety of the world, you know what I mean? Of the belief systems that the world can sustain. It's a beautiful thing. Gemini, third week of July. Universe, what is the message for our gorgeous Geminis for the third week of July? For this one, I always try to wait for the card to come flying out, but sometimes it takes a while. Okay, I'm going to do one more round of shuffling this way, and if not, I'm going to select a card. There we go. Cool. I regard all altars with respect. That goes very, very in handy with this, right? I regard all altars with respect. So maybe you're going to get to know someone on this month of July that is from a different faith or a different religion or a different cosmology, or, you know, someone whose beliefs are indeed very different to yours. The thing is that my personal opinion on this is that there is one energy, which is source energy, translated into a lot of different paths for the resonance of everyone involved and for everybody to have a guideline to live authentically. And I feel like resonance is kind of like the way in which you can be pulled into what is more aligned with you. Obviously, I know that there's a lot of spiritual paths or religious paths that feel like they need to convert everybody or that they need to push their beliefs on others. If you feel like your faith is one of these in which you are educated to you know, invite others from other belief systems to come into your belief system, thinking or considering yours to be kind of like the right one or the most righteous one or the one that will help them the most. It is very important to respect and to understand that every person is exactly where they need to be, and that the eternal love of God is unconditional. And unconditional love is not compatible with this whole, if you do something wrong, I'm gonna burn you in hell. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have anything against any religious path. I actually take a little bit of everything from all of them, all the ones that I know, and I find them to be incredibly valuable. But I do feel like there is a little bit of disrespect when one spiritual path tries to impose on another and tries to, or assumes that there is righteousness in one and that there's like disgrace in another. I do feel like that level of judgment is very harmful for society and for culture. And, you know, basically the message here is on the second and third week of the month of July, stay in your lane. Don't impose your beliefs on others, but admire everybody's belief system and try to honor it and try to connect to it from a very authentic place. We can all be right. You know what I mean? It's not like if they're right, I'm wrong, and that makes me feel threatened, and then, you know, I have to hate them because if I acknowledge that they might be right, then I'm wrong, and it's just let's take it to a higher perspective, please, people. Well, that's my personal intervention. If that resonates with you, amazing. If it doesn't, that's okay. But that's how I see this kind of thing. So a lot of respect for others' beliefs. Universe, what is the message for Geminis for the last week of July? I keep the waters pure. I keep the waters pure. For me, water is emotion. Water is the subconscious. Water is the mystery, the connection, the intuition, the spirituality. So I feel like this is a month to really go within and evaluate your judgments towards others and try to keep those waters pure towards yourself, towards others. There's a book that I haven't finished, but I recommend because I've heard it's great, but I haven't finished it, honestly. It's called Judgment Detox from Gabrielle Bernstein. She's one of my mentors, and I care about her a lot. And I haven't finished it, so I can't really say much about the book. But I do know that it is kind of like an active process of shadow work in which you realize that everything you're judging in others is something that you have rejected in yourself, and you go through like that healing process. The book is a healing process, so I invite you to get it because this month of July seems perfect for you to elevate yourself away from judgments, because that's going to free you too, right? Last message, universe, what do you have for our beautiful Geminis? It seems to be a very spiritual month, you guys. Very spiritual month. Some of you guys could be dealing with like beach cleaning. Kind of random, but yeah. Cleaning the oceans. Also, you can do the 2-cup method. I have a video on my channel on the homepage about the 2-cup method and how we can use water to manifest and to do like interdimensional. No, it's not interdimensional jumping. It's reality shifting, jumping. Check it out. I'd explain it better over there. But I do feel like that could benefit some of you guys as well. Commitment. Commit to the simplest structure. I am getting very, very drawn to this religious spiritual path topic. So some of you guys could actually be feeling a little bit confused and maybe looking for a path, looking for a guideline, for something that fits. But maybe you have to create that yourself. Maybe you can explore different religions and spiritual paths that are around you and see what really feels true to you. So if you really feel like compassion is actually a beautiful thing, go with all the different paths that encourage compassion. If the burning in hell thing, doesn't resonate, then you don't have to follow that. I know that it's sometimes hard because we also may be programmed from childhood through different religions. And I feel like we're entering a state in humanity in which we're so connected to each other through the internet, through YouTube, through so many things. We're so connected to each other that we can actually decide what works for us. And I feel like this is manifesting a lot in sexuality with the LGBT, is kind of like claiming their space in the world, you know what I mean? And I feel like the same happens for the spiritual paths. It doesn't have to make sense for anybody other than you. I give you permission to design the spiritual path of your own understanding with whatever makes sense to you. And know that that is okay, that there's not going to be a punishment for that. Because I do find a lot of my clients, I live in a country that is very like Christian oriented, and there's a lot of beautiful things from Christianity. There is, like, I truly genuinely resonate with a lot of them. But there's also very toxic belief systems or translations that the human mind kind of like takes out of context and then imposes. And it's hard for people to deprogram, the fear of, if I make a mistake, my creator will destroy me, basically. And I know it sounds dramatic, but there's a lot of people who actually live very much in this fear. And I feel like this month, for some reason, guys, this seems to be an important thing. Maybe you guys have a friend or a family member or someone who is very devoted to their path, and they might be, imposing that onto you. So it's a time to be patient and compassionate and understanding, and simply see if they're in their path there is something for you. And then, learn something and then move on, and don't feel like you need to defend yourself. Don't feel like you need to get aggressive. Don't feel like you need to prove them wrong or prove yourself right. You know what I mean? Like it's everybody's right and everyone's wrong. How about that? We're never gonna know what happens until we die, and when we die, then we're not gonna be having to fight with anyone. So let's just focus on living with a belief system that is healthy for us and that promotes growth and happiness and joy in ourselves. Nobody else has to get it. Nobody else has to support it. You can design the path of your own understanding. Having that said, it seems like a very beautiful month. It seems like a very spiritual month, honestly. So I hope you enjoy it, guys. I hope that you enjoy this reading. I'm sending so much love your way, Geminis. Please make sure to check the yoga channel if you resonate. There's nothing there, really, so far. There's like 3 videos. But I am going to be filling that channel with guided meditations and, mantra chanting and yoga classes. Yoga classes, like theoretical yoga classes, like what is yoga, the types of yoga, what yoga does for you, blah, 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 theory. But also actual, asana classes, vinyasa classes, and yin yoga classes, restorative yoga as well. So if you like yoga, if you would like to have a nice way to start the day every day with a short meditation or something, you can go ahead and subscribe. There is not much there uploaded already, but I will start posting very soon. I love you guys so much, and I hope that you have a wonderful month of July.